up in the morning, I got money on my mind. So addicted to it, all I see is dollar signs. Thankful to the Lord, he let me make it through the night. So dead or alive, I'ma go and get what's mine. Everyone that pulled me back, I had to leave behind.
Hey, what's up guys, it is your boy Steezy once again. We are back with another episode of #Focus Fridays. Shout out to everybody who's been watching all our episodes from the start or from the middle. Well, as long as it's not your first time watching, well, shout out to you, and shout out to everybody who's watching this for the first time. Well, welcome to Focus Fridays. I hope you enjoyed the journey. You know what it is, we are back like we never left. Anyway, before we get down to business, we've gone to that part of the video where I think you should be clicking that subscribe button, hitting that notification bell so that you get that notification every time we release an episode, because I mean, we're not missing an episode this week, and we're not missing an episode anytime soon or anytime ever. So do make sure you click that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that you get up to date with what vision we're trying to bring to you guys in any case. Anyway, let's get down to business. And tonight we're talking about the man himself. You know, I'm really excited about this one. I think I've waited way too long to literally talk about him. It's literally been, I think, 2 years now since I've ever known him as an artist, and for me he's probably one of my favorite artists in all time. You know, I'm actually delaying because I'm literally really nervous for this one, because I mean, I don't really talk about someone I'm really excited to talk about, so I thought maybe I should just, you know, talk about the one and only Scotty Grey. yeah, we're talking about Scotty Grey tonight. A really great vocalist and artist. To me, he's a vocalist because his voice is just a serenade, bro. But really, the reason I chose to talk about Scotty Grey tonight was, I think it's for plain reason. Not only because he's a great artist, but I mean he's got empathy living through him, and I felt like, you know, maybe let me just try something different and talk about someone I'm really excited to talk about, someone I've really been delaying on talking about. I mean, a lot of people have told me, talk about Scotty Grey, what happened, Scotty Grey? You know, and I'm like, dog, nah, wait, you know, and I think waiting shouldn't have, you know, happened. But yeah, this week we're talking about Scotty Grey. Yeah, quite excited about this one. For me, I chose to talk about him because I simply love that guy. You know, I love that dude. I love his music. I love everything he's put out so far. And you know, I decided, yeah, let's do it. But before going on to deeper context on his discography, basically how I got to know the artist Scotty Grey. I mean, I think it was around the time when I was still living under still living under basically a rock, because I wasn't really informed about most artists at that time. I think it was 2019, so I really didn't know a lot of local artists, you know, but I was local myself, which is kind of crazy. So there was this time where he was launching I think his debut EP, if I'm not mistaken. It was called The Beautiful Fantasy. Damn, I should have went there. But anyway, he was launching his debut EP. Goes by the name The Beautiful Fantasy. If you don't know it, go check it out on Spotify. Was launching that EP, and you know, like, everybody was going crazy. You know, tickets were selling. Everybody was talking about it. It was like literally the talk of the country. You know, and for me, it was like, oh, I really want to go, but I couldn't go that weekend because I was out of the country. And I remember after The Beautiful Fantasy, I started really wanting to know, who the hell is this Scotty Grey guy? You know what I mean? And that was at a time when I was still trying to get my feet in the entertainment industry. I didn't know anything, just like I still don't know anything, but you know, I was still getting my feet in the entertainment industry at that time as well. And you know, that was when I started to really, you know, get out of my rock and like literally try to get to know more artists. That's when I went on to look for Scotty Grey, went on to look for his EP, which was really hard to find because I mean I wasn't really a Spotify person at that time, so it was only found on Spotify, if I'm mistaken, I don't know. But for me, I think at the time I couldn't really listen to it, but I liked this song. It really stuck to me because it was a song used in to promote one of the festivals I went to, which was New Wave Fest, which was not really a festival, but hey, no shade, no shade. If I'm not mistaken, that song was Holidays in July. Now that I started listening to it, well, now that I really went down into looking for the album and the EP and like really listening to it, Holidays in July. I remember that song was literally out of this world, and it was crazy, and that was when I was like, who the hell is this guy? And then everyone was like, Scotty Grey, the guy was launching his EP. I'm like, okay, this is the heat, this is the heat. And fast forward to the time where I was now doing interviews, which was mid-year last year, May, June, July. That's when I started literally jotting down these artists. Like it was like a wish list, So I started jotting down a wish list. I wrote Amari. I remember on that wish list I had Amari, I had Amrik, I had Scotty Grey. Yes, obviously. I had Scotty Grey. I had I had DJ SMK. I had Duke Deep. I had a whole lot of artists, man. Like it was a huge list. I think it went up to 20 artists nationally and internationally. So it went up to 20 artists, and I only was able to like do 11 or 12 interviews. But shout out to everybody who pulled through. Shout out to everybody who didn't pull through. It's the same shit. But anyway, fast forward. There's Supra, now one of my executives, one of the shareholders of what we're doing here. He hits me up. He's like, yo, I hit Scotty Grey up and he told me he's down. And I'm like, okay, let me send a formal DM just to make sure. Because I mean, sometimes when you like literally organizing an interview with someone you really, really love, you sometimes have a moment of disbelief, like maybe this ain't true, or maybe he's just playing around, because they are friends, So for me, it was like, nah, man, I'm sending a formal DM just to make sure, though. Send a formal DM. Scotty Grey replies in I think in less than 2 hours. He's like, yo, I'm down. Set up the date, 16 June. I'll never forget that day. Literally that day, I was like, I put it on my calendar and I literally circled it, 16 June. And I was like, yeah, that was the only date I circled in all the interviews. Otherwise, other interviews, I just had them on my phone. But that interview was just like, no, circling this one. I had to, 16 June, Youth Day. 16 June comes, me and Scotty Grey finalize everything. I'm not sure if I sent him the questions or not. But yeah, that happened. And then fast forward, 6 o'clock, interview starts. At first I'm like really shy. There's a reason I'm telling this whole story on the interview, because I felt like I was really shy. But fast forward, getting cool. He's literally bringing me to an environment where now I can feel, relaxed, and like I can ask any question I want to ask, and like get this done. For me in my head at that time, I was just like, get this done. I can't wait to press end on that IGTV live. On that IG live, I can't wait to press end this live, because I was like literally shy to the point where I just really wanted to get it done. I didn't want to mind whatever content we putting out or whatever. I just wanted to get it done because I was really, really shy. But then we get to a point where we're like, okay, yeah, cool. I get to a point where I'm really comfortable in that environment. We're talking on a really personal level. He's literally bringing himself out there for me to like literally be comfortable. Okay, nah, he's this type of person. Let me, And for me, I think that was actually at a time as well where I was like really getting deeper in depth into his music, because usually it's not the same when you're listening to an artist project and you really don't know what's going on behind it. which is the same reason why artists usually drop visuals for their projects before they release and all that. So for me, getting to know Scotty Grey like that and him being very outspoken about how he feels about most of the things we were talking about on that interview made me feel like, yeah, I think I can, like really read what he's trying to bring out in his music, which is really diverse, and he literally changed my aspect of music, my aspect of art, in everything, with that interview. And I remember some time back, Siwo once asked me who was my favorite interview, and I was, with beyond every doubt, it was Scotty Grey, because he was a great person. He literally wasn't afraid to put himself out there, on that interview, because sometimes interviews are not for the fake. Because sometimes, you can have an interview with a person who's fake, and like literally that interview can crumble down in like 20 minutes, And but if it's a 58 to probably 2 hours interview, then like, this is real. This is a real person. I'm talking to a real person that, on a personal note, you understand each other as two human beings, But anyway, let's leave all that. But what I'm basically trying to say here is, having a great artist like Scotty Grey in a personal space, well, having the opportunity to have him express himself like that to me was literally great, because that's how I literally got to understand his music more. Because when I listened to The Beautiful Fantasy, I remember after that interview, I listened to The Beautiful Fantasy, and for me it was like, oh shit, this is literally what he was talking about, and he was talking about being diverse, being different, not sounding like anyone else. You can take inspiration, but not sounding like anyone else. Literally, when I asked Scotty Grey who are the artists that inspire him, he named the likes. I mean, talking about artists that he wanted to feature. I think he mentioned a little bit of AKA. I'm not sure. I don't really remember, but AKA Amari was as far as I can remember. And I could like literally hear a little bit of some AKA, but for me it's like it's inspiration taken from those artists that he looks up to, or artists that literally inspire him, and it's literally just taking that inspiration and running with it. You know what I mean? Doing your own thing. It's not like literally taking that inspiration, putting that auto tune and like wanting to sound like AKA. You know what I mean? But it's like taking that experience, that greatness that Super Mega has, and like literally running with the inspiration and not the basic principle or way they literally do their music. Which was kind of really dope. So I really got to understand more of his music and his EP a lot more, and for me he's really a great artist, and basically he taught me a lot of things about being diverse. Past couple of weeks, literally not even going to talk about being diverse a lot, but the past couple of weeks, if you can literally like watch from episode 1 up until episode 11, you can understand that I've been talking about diversity on so many of these episodes. I've been talking about uniqueness on so many of these episodes, because that is the principle or the basic knowledge that Scotty gave to me, saying, yo, dude, you gotta be diverse with putting out music. You know what I mean? And that's what he taught me in that interview. That was one interview that told me a lot about the entertainment music. Say what you said, but I said what I said. You know what I mean? Say what you say, but but I'm saying what I'm saying. Is that Scotty Grey told me a whole lot of things that I'm like literally preaching right now. You know what I mean? Everything I say till this day is literally coming from that basic knowledge of what Scotty Grey gave out to me in that interview, which is really why I had decided to be like, okay, now let me just talk about Scotty, and wrap it up. Because I mean, he's really a great artist. If I'm not mistaken, last week he had a single out. Crazy. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. And that's the type of single that I feel like really makes me feel like, I just hope he's dropping a project this year, and I just really hope he's dropping an album or something, because I literally didn't have enough in The Beautiful Fantasy, in as much as it was dope, Beautiful Fantasy is in its own lane. You know what I mean? Like, you can listen to all other projects that have been released in our country. Listen to Beautiful Fantasy, you'll know what I mean. You know what I mean? Beautiful Fantasy is literally taking a turn into a new diverse road and some other journey that you can never. Hey, wait, hold up. What I was trying to say there is click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so that you get that notification every time we release an episode, because we've been doing this for so long and I don't think we're missing any episode any week. So do make sure you click that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that you get that notification every time we release an episode. But anyway, what I was trying to say that there is, just to wrap this up, is Beautiful Fantasy, like, literally you can listen to all other projects in SD. I don't know when Scotty Grey started doing music. I think I forgot. I remember him telling me, but when you can listen to all other projects in Eswatini or even internationally, take a chance and listen to all projects internationally, and just after listening to all that, gaining all that traction, go listen to the Beautiful Fantasy, and that's going to show you what Scotty Grey has put in store, and the diversity in his music is just way too crazy. And me listening to Cape Villa last week, as soon as it was released, I hadn't been really, my schedule was really deep. A lot of people don't understand that, but my schedule is a really tough one, so for me to keep up to date with what's new, what's that, I always depend on what people tell me or on my feed on Instagram, so as soon as I saw, whoa, Cape Villa out now, link in bio, I'm like, whoa, let's go. You know what I mean? I was like, yo, let's go. And this was a really dope single from Scotty Grey. Really big ups to the man. Really can't wait for what he has next. I really hope he's got a project next this year, because that's all I'm waiting for right now. You know what I mean? And big ups to him. He's a really great artist. Really love that guy. I love his music as much as I love him, or more than I love him, maybe. But yeah, he's a great person and he's a great artist as well. So do make sure you click that link in his bio, just like I did, and listen to Cape Villa and the rest of his discography, because goddamn, he's got one hell of a voice. You know what I mean? He's got a serenade. I remember DMing him, I think as soon as the single was released, when I put out the play on Spotify thing on Instagram. I remember even DMing him and telling him that, yo, it's been a while since I heard your serenade, dog. You know what I mean? And his serenade is really dope, and what he's doing is really dope, and big ups to him. Shout out to him mostly, and yeah, shout out to what he is planning on doing next, or whatever he's working on now, because I know he's up to something. If he's releasing Cape Villa, that means there's something going on in that studio. Can't wait for it, man. And yeah, shout out to Scotty Grey. But yeah, this has been it for this episode. We've been talking about Scotty Grey, so do make sure to click that link in our bio, and do make sure to click that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that you get that notification every time we release an episode, because every Friday we're talking about a different artist. Get us to 100 subscribers, and we unlock a little surprise for you guys from the interview to you screens, or to your screens. Sorry about that. That was a little typo in my mouth. But anyway, yeah, we'll deliver a new show, a surprise show to your screens, and do stay tuned for that. As soon as we get to 100 subscribers, better make sure you keep an eye out, because goddamn, we're coming for you. But anyway, yeah, shout out to everybody. Shout out to the new subscribers. Shout out to the old subscribers as well. It's only just the beginning. So click that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that you get that notification every time we release an episode. Anyway, this has been Focus Fridays. It is your boy Steezy. Boom.
I done seen millions of places and millions of faces. Could have all the world, but to choose, I would still just pick you. Drink up in my cup, yeah. Shit ain't
towing my line, yeah. But girl, it ain't the same, yeah. These days ain't the same, yeah. And girl, I have done changed, yeah. Don't confuse the man in me to cycles of a maniac. Look up to the mirror, don't tell me that shit ain't clear, bitch. Yeah, don't you tell me that shit ain't clear, bitch. Yeah, blood on my name is what I fear, bitch. Yeah, days over, life has been deleted, bitch. Yeah, drink up in my cup, yeah. Shit ain't been the same, yeah. The same, yeah. He ain't